it's Julia Cook and Kirby Derby Doodle coming to you live from my very favorite place on the whole planet, Bear Lake, in Utah and Idaho. Half is in Utah and half is in Idaho. And I'm up here right now, and Kirby's here sporting her little fleece because it's cold up here because we're in the mountains. And I just can't wait to talk to you today, because today we're going to talk about the book that started it all. When I was a little kid, I used to interrupt all the time. I interrupted so much, my babysitter said, "Julia, your mouth is a volcano." So I started thinking about a volcano, it grumbles and rumbles, and then it just... And in my brain, I was thinking, maybe there is a volcano in my mouth. I looked in the mirror and I couldn't find one. Anyway, this book teaches kids about controlling their impulses to speak out. My mom used to say, "Julie, wait your turn. It's not your turn." And I could never figure out when it was my turn. So I'll always get in trouble for interrupting. Okay, let's see who's tuning in here. We got a bunch of people already. We have Karen and Angie. Hi, Eloise. And let's see. We're gonna talk a little bit. We're gonna put Kirby down and just talk a little bit about this. With interrupting people, when you interrupt, it makes them kind of angry, because everyone needs three things. People want to be seen, they want to be heard, and they want to be validated. And when someone is telling a story or talking and you interrupt them, you make them feel less important, like what they're saying doesn't matter. So this is a skill that not only helps you now, but it'll help you when you're a grown-up. Because when a grown-up interrupts another grown-up, people think it's rude. When a kid interrupts a grown-up, people think it's rude. So you have to know when it is your turn to talk, and that's kind of a hard balance. All right, so let's get right to business here and see what we can do. Hi, Riley. Hi, Caleb and Kaden. My name is Lewis. People say I interrupt a lot. I don't think I do. I have a lot of things to say, and my words are very important to me. When other people talk, words just pop into my head, then they slide on down to my tongue. Then my tummy starts to rumble, and then it starts to grumble. My words begin to wiggle, and then they do the jiggle. Then my tongue pushes all my words into my teeth, and I erupt. Words just explode out of my mouth. My mouth is a volcano. Hey, guess what, you guys? In my class, my teacher says when we want to say something, we're supposed to look at her, raise our hand, and wait till she calls on us. I tried that for what seemed like 62 years. Then my important words slid down onto my head to my tongue. My tummy started to rumble, and then it started to grumble. My words began to wiggle, and then they did the jiggle. Then my tongue pushed all my important words in my teeth, and my volcano erupted. "Teacher, I think we should have recess all day, and I'm hungry. Can we go to lunch now?" My teacher was less than pleased. She erupted me right back. "I know what you are saying is very important to you, Louis, but since it's not an emergency, you're gonna have to wait till I call on you." It was my volcano's fault. At daycare, we were sitting on the rug, listening to Miss Polly read us a story about planting trees. And all of a sudden, I thought about a time my grandpa and I planted 6 trees in his front yard. Oh, my important words about trees slid down from my head onto my tongue. My tummy started to rumble, and then it started to grumble. Words began to wiggle, and then they did the jiggle. Then my tongue pushed all my words in form of my important teeth, and my volcano erupted. Hey, guys, guess what? Once I planted zillions of trees in my grandpa, and I got a timeout. It was my volcano's fault. During dinner, Mom and Dad were talking about paying the bills. Then I thought about my friend Bill. Bill can blow a bubble inside a bubble when he chews 2 pieces of bubble gum. Now that is really important. My important words about Bill slid down from my head onto my tongue. My tummy started to rumble, and then it started to grumble. Words began to wiggle, and then they did the jiggle. Then my tongue pushed all my very important words into my teeth, and my volcano erupted. Hey, Mom! Bill can blow a bubble inside a bubble with his gum. Louis, my mom said, you just interrupted again. If somebody else is talking and you don't have an emergency, you have to wait your turn. But Mom, my words, they slide down from my head onto my tongue. I went, Louis, you did it again. I got sent to my room. She said I was rude. It was my volcano's fault. The next day of school was my very important day. I'd been waiting about 126 weeks to be the student star of my class. This was my special moment. I got to share a poster with my favorite things on it. I stood up in front of my class and started telling them about the time when I went fishing. Halfway through my story, Richard started to tell everyone about when he went deep-sea fishing in Mexico. His story must have been better than mine, because everyone started to look at him. He was stealing my important words. Richard, said my teacher, you just interrupted Louis. Please wait until he's finished talking, and then he might call on you. I couldn't believe how rude that was of Richard. He interrupted me. That really made me angry. After talking about my fishing trip, I started to explain the x-ray of my broken arm. Just as I was getting to the good part, Courtney started to tell everybody about when she broke her leg. Courtney, said my teacher, you just interrupted Louis. Please wait until he's finished talking, and then he might call on you. I couldn't believe how rude that was of Courtney. She started talking right during my 15 minutes of fame. She even stole my moment. When I got home, I told my mom about rude Richard and rude Courtney. Well, now you know how we feel when you interrupt us, said my mom. Well, I never thought about that. It's just that my important words just pop into my head, and then they slide onto my tongue. Then my tummy starts to rumble, and then it starts to grumble. My words begin to wiggle, and then they do the jiggle. Then my tongue pushes all my words into my teeth, and I erupt. Words just explode out of my mouth, Mom. My mouth is a volcano. Maybe Courtney and Richard have volcanoes in their mouths too, said my mom. Well, I never thought about that. Well, son, the next time your important words are pushed into your teeth by your tongue, bite down really hard. Then take a deep breath and push all your words out through your nose. Then when it's your turn to talk, take another deep breath and breathe them back into your mouth. Will that work, I asked? Only if you make it work. That night at the dinner table, my sister Sylvia was in the middle of one of her long-winded girl stories. My words began to slide, and my volcano started to do its thing. Just as my tongue started to push my words through my teeth, I bit down really hard. And I took a deep breath, and I breathed all my words out through my nose. As soon as my sister finished talking, I took another deep breath, and back in went my very important words. I was amazed at how they just hung out around inside my mouth and they didn't float away. Then I told my story. Nobody got mad at me for erupting. And after that, I never erupted again. Well, except for the time when Bill's bubblegum got stuck in my hair. But that was a real emergency. So that's the book that pretty much started it all. My kids at Belfield Elementary, when I was a counselor, they couldn't figure out how not to interrupt. And they were interrupting all the time. And the teachers were like, help the kids. You know, and when your words are going to come out and your tummy starts to rumble and tremble, and you got to bite down hard, take a deep breath, breathe all your words out through your nose, and then you wait. And then when that person finishes talking, then you breathe your words back in your mouth, and you'll never erupt again. Now sometimes we raise our hand for like forever and never get called on. One time I was at a school and this kid was raising his hand so long that his friend was raising it for him. And then you finally get called on and you can't remember what you're saying. So here's a trick. When you have something you want to say, practice squeeze it or lose it. Take your idea, put it right here between your fingertips, and then cross it like this. And remember, it's right in here, like this little tissue. Here's your idea, or squeeze it tight. And then, when it's your turn to get called on finally, and you can't remember, you look at your fingers and you remember, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Squeeze it or lose it. It will work for you. We're trying to give you guys skills to make you better and make you, make other people relate to you better. And interrupting is rude, and it's really hard not to do. So this book might help you. Alright, so here's Kirby. And I couldn't believe how many cool names that we got from you to name our new little dog. We don't know Generic. We'll call her Puppy Generic right now. And on Friday, when we do our reading, you'll get to meet her. And then on the following Monday, a week from today, we'll announce the winner of who named the puppy. So keep those names coming. Just send them in on my Facebook page where it has a little puppy post. What do you think we should name this little dog? See, Kirby, she keeps kids from getting kidnapped by teaching them to be safe. And in order for her to keep doing her job, you know, she's already 7, and by the time she's 9 or 10, she might not want to go with me. So I have to train another dog to do what she does, so when she's ready to hang out at home and not go on the road so much, then the other dog, Generic, Puppy Somebody, can be there too, so that we don't get this one too tired, because she sure is awesome. Well, I sure love you guys, and I can't wait till Friday. So I'm going to go hang out at Bear Lake, and I want you to have an amazing week. Love you. Bye.